Hello everybody, Joe Bagnones here, and welcome back for another episode of MUV Photonmelodies Adoration. There we go, I remembered it. Got off work a little early tonight because it's the fat shift and I got people to cover and they didn't need me, so I got the fuck out of there. Where did we leave off last time? We gotta go save Bjorn Bjornsson. He's stuck in a fjord, and the bait are coming. Oh, went kind of Canadian there. And Norwegian, Canadian. That was probably more of a Swedish accent, to be honest. I don't know what Norwegians sound like. Just lump all those Scandinavians together. They sound like all the Swedish chef. Though I guess in Sweden he's like the Norwegian chef or something, I don't know. Whatever, regional differences in Sesame Street characters doesn't really matter. Or is he a Muppet character? I think he's a Muppet. Anyway, that's all besides the point. Let's get in there. We left off on a bit of a cliffhanger. Ooh, dust explosions, fun. Would metal dust explode? I mean, I guess it depends on the metal they're using. Normally for dust explosions, it's like coal dust or flour, you know, stuff that's flammable. But... yeah, don't get fucking blowed up. Yeah, you know the thing you did before? Just do it again. Apparently works last time. Ooh, nice. I just noticed that we can see the little silhouettes down there on the bottom because we got our fucking sci-fi goggles on. They'll enter combat soon. Booba. That's right, remember the important things. To an amateur, this operation might seem downright suicidal. The drop tank equipped TSFs are launching one after another, grazing the water's surface to avoid heavy laser class during their charge. There was a "the" in that sentence that I completely skipped over, just ignore that. After they made their way into the combat area, they will split into two groups, one to eliminate the laser class, and another to ensure Odd's safety. Odds? Sure. Once Odd has been secured, they will switch to defense and make a steady retreat. As soon as they reach the Typhoon's extraction point, all Cerberus units will withdraw immediately. The current objective is to reach the mission area as fast as humanly possible, but that is still a difficult task in itself. Flying close to the surface of the sea for a long period of time entails considerable risk. To make matters worse, they are only carrying enough propellant to operate within the theater for 40 minutes, including the time they need to get to the extraction point. Fuck. Needless to say, if they're forced to perform high-speed close-quarters combat maneuvers, the propellant consumption rate will inevitably rise. Then again, the choice might not be up to them in the first place. Given the sheer number of beta, they would run out of ammunition in the blink of an eye if they rely solely on long-range attacks. Duh. Those are the harsh conditions under which the Bundeswehr, yep, it's been a couple days, but I can remember it, 44th Tactical Armored Battalion has to fight. This is where Cerberus bears its fangs. Possible missions like these are the norm for an elite rapid reaction force like them. Now everything makes sense. The tension has always been there, simmering beneath the surface. This is just what everyday life is to them. That's why they feel no fear. Sorting without a comprehensive plan, or even intel in the combat area, it's their standard operating procedure. That's why they don't have a structured training regimen. Because they need to be ready to carry out their orders, whatever they may be, with no advance warning. Yeah, if you're never going to have a plan, there's no point training with a plan, considering the plan won't matter, because you'll have no plan. That's the plan. You got it? So what's this fucking classical music playing? Ooh, nice eye patch. I know they talked about the fucking, like, whatever that is before, yada yada. Yeah, it was back there. I remember. That happened. I was about to say officers shouldn't be playing cards with their subordinates, but they're all officers, so... Yep, that's good. You have no friends here.
私に振るな。ローテアハトにでも聞け。こちらローテアハト。賭博に関わった記憶など一切ございませんわ。
Fucking oof. Just get him fucking air combo between them. Man, he looks different without the monocle. They're almost in the laser class's effective range. And if any of them take a hit from the heavy laser class, the Typhoon's armor will melt in a matter of seconds. How? How can they joke around under these circumstances? It's the norm. How can human beings grow so numb to the fear of death? Well, I guess I was right when I said they were stuck in a fjord. Fuck. That's starting. Oh no, the destroyer class. The most dangerous of them, because according to the alternative anime, Takaru died like a fucking chump to one of them in one of the timelines. I'm pretty sure they don't need to be told that. I'm just glad that doesn't have like a fucking umlaut in it or something, and then I definitely wouldn't know how to pronounce anything. Oh, there they are. Like an EDM concert, but less LSD. Or ecstasy, that's what they take. I don't know my drugs, man. I'm pretty straight-laced. Woo! Whoa, high-octane action. Look at him go. Look at those sprites going around. Zipping and zooming. Just slicing up the grapplers. Ooh, they got like axes. Cool. Or they technically be glaives at that point if they're like two-handed. Oh no, you'll get fucking Gulf War syndrome. Turns out hanging around a bunch of depleted uranium for a long amount of time is not good for you. Look at all the little lasers. I mean, just spray all over the place and you'll hit something eventually. If you miss, you just say it's suppressive fire, it's fine. This is some, I said it before, there's some lax background music for this. It's a little quiet, too. I guess that's the point. they're trying the best with the limited assets they have. Yep, just rotate the same picture back and forth.
第1第3小隊で側面を固めよ。目的座標はコペルビク。そこから一気に前進し、ウートシラを目指す。
先陣はお任せよ。
おう。アレローテン前進である。
So, what am I watching? You wouldn't think the captain is managing the troops, not at all. But the results speak for themselves. Cerberus as a whole acts like a well-oiled machine, dealing with the enemy in the most efficient way possible. Not only that, they do so in the face of an ever-fluctuating battlefield. All pilots know exactly where they need to be and what to do, acting purely on instinct. Improvisation on such a high level is simply abnormal. I can scarcely believe it. I would have never thought it possible. Of course they couldn't perform like this before. In a simulation with a predetermined scenario, where the participants know all the ins and outs beforehand, improvisation serves no point. Man, why they gotta put like big words in here? I'm not very smart. I can't do big words. Keep it like 2-3 syllables at most. 25 minutes! They'll run out of fuel propellant in less than 30 minutes if they continue to execute high-speed maneuvers. But since the beta keeps sending in reinforcements, Cerberus has no other choice. Ah, damn it. There's nothing I can do. Absolutely nothing but watch how the battle unfolds. That's frustrating beyond belief. The captain? Yes, I have faith in them, but even so, I can't help but worrying. Fairly good trait to have. My apologies. Thank you, Captain. Yes, sir. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's always a good plan. Never put your faith in the UN. Even with all her anti-laser defenses, the Typhoon won't be able to withstand a direct hit from a heavy laser class, and it'll eventually burn through. And yet, we have no choice but to head towards the extraction coordinates at full speed, else Cerberus will be lost. Nice.
これより先はタイミングが命だ。アウズ回収後に戦術機部隊回収。同時に戦域からの離脱を開始する。ギリギリまで寄せるぞ。
Yep, get everything done all at once.
縦に分かれた戦術機部隊が L 字交差でベータ
Oh fuck, my coffee went cold.
連中は早いぞ。戦術機部隊には
That's like really cold too. Yeah, please don't hit your own helicopters. They're TSFs, that's bad. TSFs are our most valuable military assets. That's not an order a superior officer would give without being prepared to face the consequences. I mean, sometimes you gotta make those tough choices. Like in the US evacuation of Vietnam, where they're just fucking pushing helicopters off the boats to make more room. The CIC personnel are putting all their lives at risk, exactly the same way the surface pilots. Everyone is part of the battle. They quickly analyze the situation as it develops, determine the best course of action, and issue the appropriate orders. That's no easy task, especially without direct instructions from headquarters. This battle is a high-stakes gamble, one where they have almost zero control over the outcome. Nevertheless, they struggle, desperately attempting to weave the threads that could lead to the salvation of the human race.
都知ら到達後アウズを回収。洋上のテュフォンに祈祷である。
Yeah,
我らが
please don't dilly-dally.
レーザー照射エリア内まで侵入済みだ。
これで決まりよ。そこね。
眼前に広がるは敵のおぞましい背のみ。処刑屠殺の時間である。
Excuse me, you have gentlewoman in your flight too?
我が輩に続け。
Oh, that's rude. I think the tiny laser class are kind of cute. They got that like freaky. I don't know what. I think it's just their big eyes. What speed? They're that fast? The second company's cutting their way forward as if the beta were simply butter to slice through. Major Eichberger's Schwarz? How do you pronounce that? German's weird with that, with their fucking S's and CH's and yada yada. Where's fucking Google Translate? We will take as long as it needs to get the good pronunciation. Why do I have it on Russian? German. How's it spelled? W. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to pronounce that. 4 consonants in a row is disgusting to my Anglo brain. Yeah, I know it's black, but how do you say it?
Schwarze.
Fucking what?
Schwarze.
Schwarze?
Schwarze.
Yeah, that. I'm not saying that. Never imagined they could penetrate the enemy line so ridiculously fast. Even so, Nap of the Earth. What? Nap of the Earth flight burns through propellant like there's no tomorrow. I've never heard that term before in my entire life. I'm guessing he's saying flying close to the ground. They'll soon run out of fuel. If the Typhoon is delayed by even 1 or 2 minutes, it's the end for them. No, that will not happen. The Typhoon will arrive exactly on time. I'm speechless. Lieutenant Fulner's providing long-range support with the squad support cannon while blazing across the battlefield, all without compromising her accuracy in the slightest. Is her situational awareness that good? Or could it be that she can perfectly pinpoint where the enemies are going to move next? I could swear the beta are jumping into the lieutenant's shells by themselves. Her skill is not consummate? Yep. Let's sound it out together, everyone. Commensurate? Sure. With the time she has spent in the field, this intuition of hers can only be called a natural talent. The way Lieutenants Falkenmeyer and Witzelhaven have been moved is far from average either. Their melee skills are on par with the Royal Guard veterans. They're threading the needle with each shot, getting maximum results with the minimum amount of ammo spent. What coordination, what skill. They're perfectly in sync, as if they share a collective consciousness. It's because they're synced up, you know. Because that's what happens when women live together for a while. No, they get synced up. It's a BMS joke. Let's move on. At least they're supposed to be novice pilots?
我が輩の前に立てばキルの
まだまだはあ当たってくださる
Could I be as good as them after being commissioned for only half a year? Nonsense. That's a question I have no right to ask myself. I must become that good. They're only human, and so am I. Nothing stops me from reaching their level. However, I can't do it by myself. That is one of the lessons I've learned in my time at Dover.
させませんわ。
Team combo. Team combo. I'm overwhelmed. Can't take my eyes off the battle.
セレベルスアインスより同隊員時間だ合流するぞ
了解アーレローテン前期に次ぐ部隊を合流させ一気に押し出すのである
セルベルス出売よりセルベルス各機聞いての通り部隊を合流させます。セルベルス出売よりセルベルスアインス部隊の合流完了。指示
Oh,
を
get the fuck out of there.
セレベルスアインスより前期に次ぐフォーメーションウィング3
Cool, I know what that is.
我々は正面の敵軍を食い破りアウズを回収し脱出する一人の脱落も許さんついてこい
Really not giving me much time to talk, are you? Hey, look at that jump cut. Whew. This should be good enough. Took me forever, but I'm finally done with my letter. Cerberus's participation in the live fire exercises were cancelled, for obvious reasons really, and the battalion returned to Dover Base Complex immediately after completing the mission. I secluded myself inside my room on the long way back and spent all my time writing a letter. The task ended up taking me the entire day-long trip to complete, and then some. I must admit, writing in English isn't my forte. Me neither, bud. I was forced to rely on a dictionary to see the task through, but I had no other choice. English is the official international language and the only means of communication we share. How stupid of me. It was only after I sealed the envelope that I realized I missed something obvious. I didn't write down who the letter is for. I haven't met anyone from Cerberus since yesterday's sortie. Not that their absence came as a surprise. There's a mandatory debriefing session and after-action review to attend, as well as other matters of importance that demand their attendance. Attention? Attention. They wouldn't have time for a mere cadet posing as an officer. I was informed of today's change in the schedule by the United Nations Forces attaché who was supposed to see me off. Whoops, no good. I don't know since when, but I just noticed I've been pushing the envelope to my chest. Thankfully, the letter is still in presentable shape. Can't spot any wrinkles or tears. I won't ever forget these past 10 days that I spent in Europe. Even though my standing was the lowest, the honor of serving alongside the noble watchdogs of hell has been the highlight of my life so far. It's a memory that I shall treasure as long as I live, however short that time might be. My remembrance of Cerberus will forever remain vivid, their way of life one that I'll strive to follow from this day onward. I left the Empire a boy, now I will turn a man. Among the many things I've learned from them, what will stay with me forever is the true value of individual freedom. Nice, that's a good lesson to take back to Japanese society. Everyone here adheres to the regulations, but not blindly. Should the situation call for improvisation, they will not hesitate to do so. All members readily assume both personal and group responsibilities, and the system runs like a well-oiled machine. My narrow-minded dogmatism has been pulverized. Their values are different from those of Imperial pilots, but the results show they have every reason to be confident. That's the source of their strength. God damn it, I got like fucking static feedback in my headphones. Am I building up static? Let me fucking ground myself. I think I was. Huh? What? Where was I? Yeah, source of strength. I read that. Maybe that first-hand experience was exactly what I needed. I've learned countless life lessons from Father, my brothers, and the Royal Guard, but the only thing that got through were the words, not the meaning behind them. Everything I used to believe in, the creed I used to follow, has been proven false beyond a shadow of a doubt. All I can feel now is desolation. I've been wrong all along, and that's what I've come to understand from my time in Dover. I haven't gained anything, nor have I matured in any way whatsoever. That's fine. I will return home with a newfound sense of purpose. With the experiences I've gone through here engraved upon my heart, I'm ready to set on a new path. That is my mission, and no one will fight this battle for me. It's pretty heavy, my guy. It's about time to part with this room. Farewell, my little castle. Thank you for these past 10 days.
Oi, oi. 何の儀式だそりゃ。
Look, man. Lieutenant Brower? How long have you been there?
あ？お前が封筒を握りしめて切ない顔し始めたあたりかな。
Look, man, let the guy be a little sentimental, alright? Ah! Please delete that from your memory! You could have announced yourself. No, what am I saying? You're supposed to knock before you come in. Your door was open.
悪かった悪かった。めんどくさかったんでつい。まさか東洋の奇襲の最中だとは思わなくてな。
You didn't have to say it like that. Like I said, delete that from your memory. And that smirk tells me you're not sorry at all. You're definitely gonna tell the others and make a laughingstock out of me, aren't you? This man might be a knight of the battlefield, but he's simply intolerable in person.
俺だぜ。この俺がわざわざ迎えに来てやったんだから、そんなに怒んなって。
Yeah, it might. I really have no idea what you're talking about. So again, what are you doing here?
だからお迎えだよ。この俺がお前を少佐のとこまで連れてくんだよ。
What are you talking about? That's Lieutenant Fulner's job. She's my supervising officer.
あいつ、昨日のデブリレポートでありえねえミス連発しやがったんで、さっきメデューサに呼び出されて缶詰だよ。
Who? Medusa?
あれ？知らねえ？ベスターナッハ中尉の本名だよ。
Huh? Her real name?
なんだよ。ウィルフリーデから聞いてねえのかよ。アイパッチに隠された中尉の右目はな。
Oh.
実は魔眼なんだよ。
Uh-huh. I get it.
でな、その魔眼に睨まれたやつは一瞬で石にされちまうんだよ。
Yeah, whatever you say, man.
それでな、頭からバリバリと食われて
Ooh,
茶色い
kinky.
宝石にされちまうんだぜ。マジマイルだろ。
Okay.
やばくね？あっておい！聞いてんのかよ。
I really don't want to listen to you rant on about your vor fetish. Let's see. I certainly remember the briefing room being this way. How regrettable. Here I was, starting to see Lieutenant Fulner in a better light, but it seems I was too hasty. She'll be the same happy-go-lucky airhead until the very end.
ほら着いたぜ。俺の役目はここまでだ。
Good. Thank you for all you've done for me, Lieutenant Brower.
おいおい小僧、嘘はいかんな、嘘は。
Huh? What are you talking about?
今全くありがたくないだろお前。
Yeah, but you still gotta say it. That's not true. I can't say he's completely mistaken, but I do hold a small measure of gratitude towards the lieutenant as well.
無理すんな。本当はイルフリーデに会いたかったんだろ。
I mean, yes. Not really. I'm perfectly fine with being sent off by you.
俺の顔見てあからさまに嫌な顔しやがったくせに。よく言うぜ。
Well, she's done a lot for me these past 10 days. It would be rude of me if I left without saying goodbye, so I...
たくめんどくせえガキだな。慎み深いのも結構だがな。
Same, bro.
お互いいつ死ぬかわかんねえんだぞ。いい女だと思ったんなら、やれるときにやっとけってんだよ。
Hell yeah, get some.
ダメ元で頼みはよかったじゃないか。じれってえな、まったく。
Fucking shoot your shot, my guy. Salacious choice of words aside, the man has a good point. This might very well be the last time I see Lieutenant Fulner, or anyone else here for that matter. I know the chance of us meeting again is remote at best. I don't even need to remember how death was looming over me yesterday. Statistics alone are enough to drive the point home. Very few surface pilots live through the 8 minutes of death. Live in the moment. That's what Lieutenant Brower is trying to tell me. 10 days ago, I would have disregarded his advice without a second thought. Now, I intend to listen. You might be right, Lieutenant. In fact, you probably are.
へえ、らしくねえな。
Even so, I think I'm fine just the way I am. My duty as a member of the Royal Guard and as a Makabe remains important to me. Be that as it may, I'm well aware I've yet to grow strong enough to protect what's important to me. That's one thought I haven't been able to shake since witnessing yesterday's battle. I will choose my own path, no matter where it leads. Perhaps I will end up stumbling in the dark. In fact, that's rather likely, but I don't think I could live with myself if I didn't try. Where my experiences will take me, I have no idea. But I'm not in haste. Not in haste? Okay, that's a weird sentence, but sure. Weird way of phrasing it, at least. All I can do for now is watch and learn. No amount of complaining or screaming to the winds that I'm already a full-grown man will change that. Maybe it'll all be for nothing. A waste of time, some might say. Right now, though, I don't think that would bother me in the slightest. The answers I seek will come to me eventually. All I need to do in the meanwhile is to live, to experience all that life has to offer. There is a time and place for everything. You see, Lieutenant, I learned something important here. That if you simply force yourself to cram knowledge into your head without reflecting on the real lessons even once, you'll never grasp the true meaning, try as you might. I assume it's the same with women, although I'm fairly inexperienced in that regard. You may take my words as an admission that I'm still a brat, but don't worry, this brat is not going to bother you for much longer. I used to believe, barely days ago, that Lieutenant Fulner's words were too vague. Now I find they're awfully close to the way I'm thinking. Looking at things from another perspective, maybe she has undergone the same process all along, living and learning from her experiences all this time. I think you're giving a little too much credit there, but how fascinating. This brief exchange with Lieutenant Brower has pushed me to impose some degree of order in my experiences from yesterday.
まったく、ひでえ言い草だな。
What?
こう見えても俺は寂しいんだぜ。明日からお前の顔が見られなくなるって思うとな。
Is that because the cadet you and the others used to tease with impunity will be gone, Lieutenant?
お前さ、人聞きの悪いこと言うんじゃねえよ。
Yeah, the fact that he's fucking with you means that he doesn't hate you. If he hated you, he wouldn't even talk to you.
俺らのおかげで、お子様なお前にもすげえいい思い出ができただろ。
Thank you for playing Wingman. And sending us to the wrong shower. That's not... I won't say that I'd like to forget them anytime soon, but calling them good seems kind of inappropriate. But in hindsight, I wouldn't do anything differently. They are the memories to end all memories. His words ring true, annoyingly so. To be sure, there's that moment I won't be able to forget. Together with that evil smirk of yours when he confessed to your dirty trick. My apologies, Lieutenant. I can't be fully honest with myself yet.
はっきりしねえ野郎だな。まあいい。で、ここからが重要だ。
Impart your dirtbag words of wisdom. What do you mean?
俺が日本に行った時はどうすればいいか分かってるよな。
Yeah, we'll fucking introduce you to some babes. Of course I do. I know exactly how to repay you, Lieutenant. I swear on my life I will.
おいおい、本当に分かってんのか？お前みたいな堅物にそんなことできんのかよ。
You don't have to worry. I'll make it happen.
本当だな。
I, Makabe Seijiro, am a samurai. I'm honor-bound to remember both my promises and the kindness I've received.
よーし、よく言った。いいか？これはサムライとナイトの歴史的名約だぜ。裏切るなよ。
Yes, Lieutenant, I would never. A historical covenant between Germany and Japan? Really now? No, more importantly, did he just admit I'm a samurai?
いいな。俺に恩返しするまで勝手に死ぬんじゃねえぞ。
What? Yes. Maybe the lieutenant isn't a gigantic douche, but only has trouble expressing himself? Maybe he's been a nice guy all along. Seems I can't just stop judging a book by its cover.
おいおい、今さらビビったんじゃねえだろうな。約束はちゃんと守れよ。
I will. but the same goes for you, Lieutenant. Now, you simply can't fall in battle before you come to Japan. Failing to keep a promise shames a samurai deeply.
一発の口叩くじゃねえか。
Thank you for everything, Lieutenant Brower. May you remain in good health. Until the day we meet again, I wish you good fortune in the battles to come.
じゃあな、清十郎。ウォルフガング・ブラウアー少尉、真壁訓練生を連れてまいりました。
真壁清十郎候補生、現時刻をもって貴君の我が隊における視察研修の終了を認む。
Second year cadet Makabe Seijiro, Imperial Royal Guard, Empire of Japan. I'm leaving my post here today.
楽にしろ、真壁候補生。ご苦労だった。我が隊での経験が貴君の帝国近衛軍における活躍の一助になれば幸いだ。
I will always be in your debt for these past few days, Major. I will continue to improve myself as a surface pilot so that I don't soil the name of your glorious unit.
不意の実戦にも臆することなく立派だった。貴君の父上や兄上たちも鼻が高いことだろう。
I'm honored. Your words are more than I deserve.
ファーレンホルスト注意。
はい。
これは実戦を共にした貴君の働きに対するささやかな礼だ。受け取
I can't believe it. The crest of the three-headed beast, the watchdog of hell. This is the Service Battalion's emblem. And there's numbers carved here. 37? Yes. What does it mean?
真壁候補生、あなたはデルベルス大隊37番目の衛士。私たちの戦友です。
Thank you, but I didn't.
謙遜は日本人の美徳であるな。だが我が輩らは心から帰還に感謝しておるのだ。
遠慮なく受け取るがいい。貴様は我が隊の新任ども。特にフォイルナー少尉を成長させてくれた。心から感謝するぞ。
さあ、どうか受け取って、真壁候補生。
Nice. When you eventually get a desk, that's gonna be a nice thing to show off. Aw, he's fucking crying. Yes, I will do so humbly. Such an honor, even though I was nothing but a burden. This is such an honor.
ほら、顔を拭いて。いい男が台無しじゃないか。いいか？セルベルスはいかなる時も胸を張るんだ。
我が隊の一員となった以上、無許可で戦死してはならんのである。
Aw.
良いな、真壁候補生。心せよ。
See, they like you. Captain Rallerstein, Lieutenant, Rasternach, thank you. God, the fucking umlaut in her name throws me off every single
若き
time.
セルベルス、祖国と人類に尽くされんことを。
I will always be in your debt.
さらばだ、友よ。
Man, globalism is great, isn't it? Foster
共に揚げ
this
たじゃがいもを
this
たらふく食おう。
brotherhood between nations. Please be in good health. I'll be praying for your victory from the bottom of my heart. This could be the last time I set my eyes upon this magnificent view. Smell the tides, the green of the forest nearby. I've just barely grown familiar with this scene, and yet it's time for me to depart. Remembering these past few days feels strangely nostalgic. Not a character for me, I would say. Have I really become that sentimental? It comes with age. I'm sure the old me would believe this is the last time I would come to this faraway land. Then again, the old me is dead, gone forever. I was aware that during a battle, you have no choice but to entrust your comrades in arms with your life. And yet, I needed to come to Europe to truly understand what that means. I tried to shoulder everything by myself, and not until the day I was utterly powerless to change my fate did I realize how wrong that was. Yesterday, I took part in a real operation for the first time. I'll bet, took part. might be too charitable a description. I was no more useful than luggage. And so, I had no choice but to sit back and wait for the battle to be over, hopefully with an outcome in our favor. The thought made me incredibly uneasy. The idea itself, that I had no choice but to trust a fighting force I deemed lacking, was confusing. To say my mind was thrown into chaos would be an understatement. But shortly thereafter, I would come to see I had greatly underestimated Cerberus. Maybe even more importantly, I noticed the Typhoon's crew was in the exact same position. If the heavy laser class had broken through, we would have been vaporized, helpless to do anything. It made me realize that on the battlefields, we're all equals. Regardless of our backgrounds, regardless of our status, we're all fighting for the same objective. Working together to finish the mission is the only thing that matters in the face of death. I'll be forever grateful to the experienced this lesson to. I will be forever grateful to have experienced this lesson for myself. Mere theoretical knowledge could never hope to compare.
お前の話も言いたいこともよくわかった。申し訳ないが、私が言ってやれることは何一つない。他のことなら別だ。だが、その問題だけはお前が独力で答えにたどり着かなければ意味がない。どれだけもがき苦しもうとも、何にもよらない聖十郎の力だけでだ。お前と似たような問題を抱えたやつが我が隊にもいてな。いや、奴らと言うべきか。みんな、だからこそ人が。
This is certainly the lines we heard last episode.
いや、忘れてくれ。
Now I see what Lieutenant Falkenmeyer was hinting at that day. I can't believe how unreliable I was, and I can't believe how kind the lieutenant was to go along with my whims. She all but told me the answers. I hope that after today, it'll just be a little bit easier to ensure the promises I've exchanged with Lieutenant Fulner and Brower come true. Wouldn't that be nice? It sounds like there's a car coming this way. I was planning on walking to the station. It's taking the surroundings until the very last minute. That's a pity. It looks like such a luxury will not be granted to me. Wow. Someone's practically torturing that poor engine. That screeching is positively nasty. Judging from how fast the sound is approaching, the driver likes to step on the gas. What? Oh god. That poor Humvee. It's gonna.
ごめんなさいね、聖十郎くん。すっかりお待たせしてしまって。まったくお前の運転は。おう、聖十郎。微動だにしないとは見
I
上げて
paid for the whole speedometer. I'm gonna use the whole speedometer.
私たち、駅まで送るよう少佐から申し付けられましたのよ。すまんがイルフリーでは別の任務で外せなくてな。
She's still getting fucking chewed out.
さあ、ヘルガー、急ぎますわよ。
Or at least forced to revise her paperwork.
まだそれほどの時間では。おい、待ってくれ。
He's been kidnapped.
「列車の時間には十分に間に合いましたわね。無事に送ることができて何よりですわ。
Thanks, I guess. Also, I just realized, why do you two wear your rank and, like, differently? What? What? Huh? That shouldn't be a thing. What? You should be glad I'm not dead! There's almost an hour left! Let me tell you what happened. I was shoved into the car, and somehow I ended up here before I knew it. You guys think I don't know what I'm talking about? You're right. I don't know what's going on at all. I saw it all, but it wasn't something like advanced driving techniques or breaking the sound barrier. It was over in a flash, but that was traumatic enough. Riding in the car with Lieutenant Witzleben behind the wheel is far more terrifying than TSF flight training. Her driving was reckless enough, traveling on paved road, Then she suddenly decided to go on an off-road detour, and I could swear to the gods I had seen my last glimpse of this world.
どうした清十郎、顔色が悪いぞ。
I mean, maybe with driving like that. How come you're okay? Are you even human?
とうとうお別れですわね、清十郎くん。この数日間、とても楽しかったですわ。
That was my honor, Lieutenant. I will devote myself to use what I learned here for the sake of humanity and the Empire.
私たちも清十郎くんに負けないよう修練し続けますわ。
That reminds me. I already wrote about it in my letter, but it can't hurt to ask her in person. Excuse me, Lieutenant Witzleben, but there's something I'd like to thank you for.
あれ？まあ、なんでしょう。
For always leaving me a wet towel. I mean, a hot towel in my room. I want you to know that I'm sincerely grateful. It's my first time living abroad, and the experience can be quite stressful at times. Thanks to that kind gesture of yours, my mental fatigue vanished in the blink of an eye. I was recharged, filled with excitement, and ready to face tomorrow. Despite your busy schedule, you were always there for me, night after night. At this point, I'm simply repeating myself, but thank you from the bottom of my heart.
個人的に毎夜活力がみなぎる。
Not quite like that. Your phrasing's a little off. Is there something wrong, Lieutenant Witzleben?
私などがお役に立てたのであれば光栄ですわ。
I don't know what she's thinking, but she's definitely getting the wrong idea.
清十郎は何か思い違いをしているようだな。
Yes, please explain. Not at all. I got a private room, it's true, but I've been using it in a completely wholesome way. I'm not a degenerate.
何を言っている？私はおしぼりの話をしているのだが。
That's what I've been talking about this entire time. Wait, what exactly did I get wrong?
清十郎くん、あなたの部屋に毎晩おしぼりを運んでいたのは私ではなくイルフィーなのよ。
What? Are you serious? So that display of hospitality was all Lieutenant Fulner's doing? But I remember how I saw you coming out of my room during the first day.
私はあなたの荷物を運んだだけですわ。お部屋に入った時にはもうおしぼりが置かれていましたもの。
Now that explains why the hot towel was lukewarm, because Lieutenant Fulner was the one who put it in there a while back. If Lieutenant Witzleben had done so, it would have been hot as intended.
日本から来る若いお客様が見知らぬ土地で過ごす一日の終わりに故郷を感じてほっとできるもの。
And hot towels are customary to Japan? Question mark?
そう言ってあの子が懸命に調べて選んだものがあのおしぼりですわ。
Elaborate. But I don't believe hot towels are part of Japan's cultural heritage or anything of the sort.
おかしいですわね。イルフィーに見せてもらった資料にはおしぼりは中世の日本貴族から発祥した固有文化とありましたのに。
What?
第二次世界大戦後、日本の航空会社が機内サービスに取り入れ、その快適さから世界中に広まったと書いてあったが。
Okay, sure.
残念ながらベータ大
Though I
戦
do like it when I get a haircut and they like put like the aftershave on my head and do like the hot towel massage. That's nice.
耐えてしまったようですけれど。
This cannot be! Am I that ignorant of Japan's cultural heritage? Less well educated on that empire's custom than German surface pilots?
それもイルフリーデが探し出した資料にあったな。それはお世辞にも深い内容とは言えないものだったが、イルフリーデは日本文化に関する資料を手当たり次第集めていた。
She tried. It's the thought that counts.
つけ焼き場もいいところでしたけど、お迎えの準備だと言って紙にブラシで文字を書いたり、調理室から鍋を借りてきたりで大わらわでしたわね。
So yeah, why are their uniforms different? Like, Falkenmeyer, she's got all the silver trim on hers, like on the collar and the sleeves, and like the stripes, but they're... I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. Why are they different? Someone with the deep Muv-Love lore, let me know.
日本の
何百年も前の戦争の道具なのに、細部にまで色鮮やかな飾りや美しい細工が凝らされていて、まるで美術品のようでしょ。武具にそういう思想と技術を込める民族が建てるなら、それは美しいお城になるんじゃないかなって思っていたのよ。とても美しいんでしょうね、日本のお城って。いつかこの目で見てみたいわ。
So that's why she sometimes seemed to know more than she should. That's right. That's exactly right. Unforgivable! How blind I have been! Not only was I in the dark about a tremendously important cultural asset of my beloved empire, but I was also ignorant of Lieutenant Fulner's true worth. My complaints are worth less than a drunkard's ramblings. She was the one who cared about me the most. And how did I pay her back? I criticized her again and again, in front of her comrades even. Lieutenant Falkenmeyer, I really need to apologize to Lieutenant Fulner. Is there any way for me to do so?
詫びなど不要だろう。ビルフリーでの行動はお前に感謝されたいがためではないだろうからな。
What?
お前の不評を買ったあのようにラフな接し方はあやつ自身が選んだゆえのことだ。お前がどう評価しようとそれは自由だ。
She's saying it's my fault as well. That I should have been able to see beneath the surface, but failed miserably at the task. What I'm trying to understand is, why would Lieutenant Fulner go so far for my sake?
簡単なことですわ、清十郎君。
Huh?
帰国後すぐに任官し、即戦場に立つであろう少年兵に、無人の矜持を示すよりも、人のぬくもりを感じられる思い出を渡したいと願ったのだろう。
So that was it. In the end, it all comes back to the 8 minutes of death. Once my exchange is over, I'll be deployed in combat as a newly commissioned second lieutenant in a matter of weeks. I could die in my very first battle, long before I ever reached the dreaded 8 minutes threshold. That's why she did so much for me.
あいつはそういうやつなんだ。
Yeah, it was basically hospice care.
そうですわね。
She is an airhead with an excessive fondness for physical contact, and it wouldn't be inaccurate to describe her as meddlesome, but Lieutenant Fulner is also someone who understands what it means to care for others in the truest sense of the word. I don't know what the future has in store for me. No matter how much I struggle, I may not last beyond the 8 minutes of death. But when the moment of my death comes, I want to be able to look back upon my life with pride.
さて、そろそろ戻りましょうか、ヘルガ。
わかった。行こう。
Lieutenant Witzleben, Lieutenant Falkenmeyer, thank you for everything you've done.
達者でな、清十郎。命を粗末にする英士にだけはなるなよ。
Yes, I will. Your advice the other day was invaluable, Lieutenant. Thanks to you, I feel like I've peeled off my adolescent skin and has emerged as a real man.
そんなことをした覚えはない
You've
が。
molted?
自信があるのは確かなようだな。
I'm not sure I would call it confidence, but I'm certain your words gave me a new perspective.
みんな一人でもがき続けている。だからこそ人がいや忘れてくれ。おせっかいが過ぎたようだ。
I wonder what you were going to say before you cut yourself off. Personal growth is an individual matter. It's the person in question who has to deal with the results, triumphs or failures, with the resulting triumphs or failures. My struggle does not concern Lieutenant Falkenmeyer. Always relying on answers from others is the same as being stuck as a child forever. You're the only one who can find the answers to the questions that plague you. Never mind. Please forget I said anything.
一皮むけた。そんなことをして。
No. Could you please not ruin my farewell speech, woman? I'll be praying for your safety. Please relay that to Lieutenant Fulner as well.
わかった。必ず伝えよう。
Man, I've just been fucking stuttering my words all episode.
さようなら、清十郎君。いつかまたお会いしましょう。
God damn, they fucking... Oh, I guess it's her driving, so I was about to say they're really peeling out, but... Am I imagining things, or did the Humvee just fly away? I'm not even speaking figuratively. Really now, It's a miracle I made it here in one piece. This is quite a pedestrian send-off, but that's alright. It's not like Cerberus is, it's just like Cerberus to not make a big deal out of things. There we go, words, in that order. My brain just completely shut off on that one, and I just, like, stopped seeing words for words. It's just like, yep, those are symbols on my screen, and I don't know what they mean. Still plenty of time until the train departs. According to my military-grade Casco watch, I have 34 minutes before I must depart. Casquillo? I don't know, man. It's all thanks to Lieutenant Witzleven's aggressive driving style and her blitzkrieg on that poor Humvee's engine. I would venture it's the highest speed ever recorded off-road. Wish we could have taken the scenic route instead. Now I have time to spare, but absolutely nothing to do. Waiting here without doing anything would be the worst possible choice. Miraculously, I find myself in the same situation as when I first arrived. It's like pottery, it rhymes. Barely 10 days have passed, but it feels like an eternity. I can't believe how desperate I was to be seen as a full-fledged adult, to the point where I got myself into trouble for foolishly trying to prove that I'm not a child. Whew. But Europe, do not dare underestimate me. In the Empire, they say a boy can grow furiously in a mere 3 days. Yet here I stand, a cadet in Europe for 10 whole days, which means I've become thrice the man. Still, something is missing. I can't lie and say everything worked out perfectly, but I don't believe it speaks ill of my character to be left with some lingering regrets. Tradition, discipline, and the legacy of House Makabe. My drive to uphold the values I hold dear remain as strong as ever, which is not to say I wish to remain stagnant. Time spent here taught me that it's fine to let loose at times, as long as you keep your wits about you. However, Europe, don't get your hopes up too high. I may be thrice the man I was, but demanding I do not feel somewhat sentimental, as I take in the scenery, would be asking the impossible. Well, such is life. Perhaps I should kill some time at the underground platform. I could count the railroad ties before I reach the same amount as the number of good memories I've forged in this place. That would keep me busy for a while. Ooh. Good grief, what am I thinking? I was supposed to head for the underground platform, but I ended up heading towards the equestrian trail instead. I have no idea what I'm doing, but for once, I'm gonna let things play out. Besides, this is nothing compared to Lieutenant Fulner's impulsivity. It's like she's a typhoon, leaving behind a trail of destruction, and I am but a gentle breeze. This might possibly be the first time in my life I'm acting solely on my feelings. Others might not consider this anything special. For someone like me, though, who has always felt the need to justify his actions somehow, this is nothing short of a milestone. It's all thanks to Lieutenant Fulner. Clearly, she has been a major influence on me. What a shame I couldn't say my goodbyes to her in person. I owe her so much. A simple letter doesn't do things justice. Now that I'll have to depart, the least I can do is sear the place where we first met in my memory. An indulgence, sure, but one that I will allow myself. Oh god, the fucking light. I do not appreciate that strobing effect. Lieutenant Fulner. I didn't write it down, but I owe you an apology. I was a fool who let himself be overcome by his dogmatic beliefs. Not only did I make light of your unit and the rest of Europe, I even looked down on you when I had absolutely no grounds to do so. Behaving like a narrow-minded fool, I couldn't understand your inner strength and nobility, the way you're always cheerful without relying on anyone. You could go so far as to say that strength of yours is what made me adore you. Ask not the sparrow how the eagle soars indeed. I wanted to apologize to you, Lieutenant, and yet I couldn't. There won't be many regrets I take back home from my time in Europe, but I'm sure this one failure will haunt me for the rest of my life. Yes, I'm okay. There's no need to concern yourself with me, Lieutenant. I brought this on myself. It's only right that I accept whatever happens to me. What? Lieutenant Fulner! What are you doing here?
驚かせてごめんなさい。急いで追いかけたんだけど、まさか清十郎がこんなところにいるなんて。
Also, I feel something's wrong with that perspective on that horse. Like, it's big, like, really big. But it's not like a draft horse or like a fucking Clydesdale or anything. Like, her standing right now, like, if she got off that horse and was standing, like, she'd be, like, up to its neck. So that horse would have to be, like, fucking over 6 feet at the shoulder. Which is a big fucking horse. What? Then she came all this way just to see me off?
あれ？私ちゃんと英語で話してるわよね。
Oh, yes. Yes, Lieutenant. You're speaking in English.
やだもう、脅かさないで清十郎。私の顔を見てもずっと動かないんだもの。ドキドキしちゃったわ。
No, I was just,
でも間に合ってよかった。遅くなっちゃったのは自分のせいだから仕方ないけど、そのせいで清十郎のお見送りをできなかったら寂しいものね。
well...
それにしても清十郎は本当にトレイルランコースが好きなのね。一緒に早掛けできなかったのがちょっと残念だわ。
No, there's no need to worry about that.
でも言ったでしょ、この一帯は部外者立ち入り禁止の部隊専用
Well,
エリアだ
you
って。
see,
もう忘れちゃったの？
I'm a member of Cerberus now. Of course I didn't forget, Lieutenant. That's exactly why I came here.
まあそうね。離任してもここを離れるまではまだ清十郎が私たちのお客様であることに変わりはないわよね。
That's not quite accurate, Lieutenant.
え？
I am the 37th Surface Pilot of the Cerberus Battalion.
37番目？
I wanted to carry this medal close to me on the way back to the Empire. Good thing I remembered to put it in my breast pocket.
それは
I got it from Major Eichberger. This is proof that I stood beside Cerberus in an actual battle. More than I deserve, really.
よかったわね清十郎。本当によかったわね。
Thank you, Lieutenant. Normally, she would start raving about Major Eichberger, singing his praises with no end in sight. But could it be she's genuinely happy about me getting this medal?
帰国後すぐに任官し、即戦場に立つであろう少年兵に無人の矜持を示すよりも人のぬくもりを感じられる思い出を渡したいと願ったのだろう。
The way I treated Lieutenant Fulner, despite her going so far to take care of me, and how I looked down on her with an air of superiority, it's inexcusable. Ugh! There's a good chance I won't ever see her again. I need to apologize now! Hey, Lieutenant?
何清十郎？
And I'm getting fucking static again! Where's a good grounding point? Is my desk grounded? It is, nice. I can't do it. I shouldn't do it. The time for words has come and gone. What's done is done.
詫びなど不要だろう。イルフリーでの行動はお前に感謝されたいがためではないだろうからな。お前の不評を買ったあのようにラフな接し方はあやつ自身が選んだゆえのことだ。お前がどう評価しようとそれは自由だ。
This is not the time to apologize, but rather to acknowledge my ignorance. To pledge to do better. Lieutenant Fulner made me tragically aware of this flaw of mine, one of many things I should be thanking her for. Besides, saying I misunderstood her all this time and apologizing for the matter does her no good. It would be a mere excuse for my failings, something done purely for my own self-satisfaction. Still, there is something I absolutely need to tell her. You've done so much for me, Lieutenant Fulner. Thank you. I've learned so many unforgettable things during my time in Europe, and it's all thanks to you. I couldn't have asked for a better start to my career as a service pilot. Ends. I had never experienced days as chaotic as the ones I spent with you, Lieutenant. I'll treasure them for the rest of my life.
清十郎。
Thank you for the wonderful memories. Please remain in good health forever.
さようなら清十郎。大丈夫。 あなたなら立派な英士になれるわ。
Yeah, you got like your own little protagonist plot armor now, so you won't die immediately. Thank you very much. Suddenly, I felt the urge to speak up. I felt an overwhelming need to tell Lieutenant Fulner something, anything, to the point where it was impossible to hold back. You know, Lieutenant, do you still remember what you said about wanting to see Japanese castles?
いつの日か私が日本に行ったら清十郎が案内してくれるんでしょ?
Of course. I began to speak, but what little sense of confidence I had vanished as soon as the first words came out. It's not surprising, really. I have no idea what I want to tell the lieutenant. My mind keeps racing, trying to find out what exactly to say. I'm in uncharted territory. This is the first time I've ever confessed to a woman. And yet, the words keep rushing out from my mouth. Lieutenant, I will do whatever it takes to keep our promise. I swear I'll survive the 8 minutes of death.
分かっているわ。あなたは侍だもの。侍に二言はないものね。
Yes, when the time comes. When the time comes, I'll be there to welcome you, Lieutenant. She embraces me softly, as if caressing something precious. It feels distinctly different from the way she used to hug me. It's a warm and gentle embrace, one that reminds me of Mother. Oh God, again with your mommy issues.
その日が来ることを楽しみにしているわ。
Me too. Huh? Lieutenant? Is she really that tall, or is she on like a little fucking hill?
騎士の誓い。
I think she's just on an incline, because if she's like a full head and a half taller than him, I'm sorry?
私から清十郎への約束の証よ。
Yes!
再び会える日まで私も頑張る。
Oh, getting a little flash forward. I was but a child. Oh yeah, he would have been a Takumi Kazuchi. Looking back, not much is clear. And perhaps she was my first love. But my love was unrequited. To Lieutenant Fulner, I was like a little brother and nothing more. I know that now, and I've come to terms with it. Whew. Love, affection, and adoration. Emotions that I treated as one and the same without attempting to make any nuanced distinction. I thought mere determination would be enough, that zeal alone would be enough for a man to rise to the occasion. How laughable. I can't believe what a sad excuse of a man I used to be. There's a smile to my face, actually. But one person saw right through my act. Ifrid von Fulner. She didn't care about my shortcomings, and gave me her unconditional love instead. I was so hell-bent on finding out what chivalry really meant. Pretty ironic, now that I think about it. It was thanks to those German knights, who stood so tall and proud without relying on anyone but themselves, that I could come to know true Bushido.
ヘッドクォーターより待機中の全攻撃部隊に次ぐ。支援砲撃終了まで約300秒。戦域突入に備えよ。繰り返す。戦域突入に備えよ。
Wolfblaze 1 to all leaders. See standby mode. Oh god, he went too fast. Fuck. Crimson is the color of burning passion. It just so happens to be Rogue Company's color. Happy coincidence, I must say.
ヘッドクォーターより待機中の全攻撃部隊に次ぐ。支援砲撃終了まで約
Do we know this operation?
秒。作戦は第3フェーズに移行。繰り返す。作戦は第3フェーズに移行。
That was a mere mockery for man, but that changes nothing. A samurai's word is sacred. I'll fulfill my promise, and I will repay their kindness. Ooh, that's a good shot. Wolf Blaze 1 to Wolf Blaze Battalion. Fight as you always have. Devote yourself to the survival of the Empire and the human race. You have lived through battle before, so do so again. Oh, it's going so fast. I keep fucking up. Let's go, Wolf Blaze. Follow my lead. That's a fucking lot of Takemikazuchis. Yeah! Hell yeah. Nice. Nice, I like that. That was good. That was good, I like that. Yeah. And I like the CD. It's a good song, but I'm not going to sit here and listen to all of it because I don't do good with dead air. Oh, epilogue, epilogue.
ルナ、ヘルガ。しかし、間に合ってよかったな。清十郎が一人でフラフラ歩き始めた時はどうなるかと思ったが。
間に合った？なんでヘルガがそれを？っていうかフラフラって何？だいたい二人とも今までどこにいたの？
I don't know, sitting in the bushes watching.
清十郎を見送った後、高機動車を車両保管所に戻していたんだ。
そうじゃなくて、清十郎と一緒に駅で待ってるからすぐ来いってメモをくれたでしょ？
うん。まあ、私はそのつもりだったんだが。
ひどいわよ。清十郎ほっぽり出してさっさと帰ってくるなんて。
いや、私たちは最後まで見届けていたのだが。
さっきから何を言ってるの、ヘルガ。だいたいどこにもいなかったじゃない。
俺は必ず死の8分を乗り越え、少尉との約束を果たします。
は？
分かっているわ。あなたは侍だもの。侍に二言はない。
Oh, don't make fun of her now. They were having their moment.
その際には少尉をお迎えに上がる所存です。
ちょっと、なんでルナがそこまで細かく知ってるのよ。
あなた方のお別れの一部始終は少し離れたところからじっくりと拝見させていただいていましたの。
はあ？なんでわざわざそんなことするのよ。一緒に見送ってあげればよかったじゃない。
They were letting you have your moment together.
そのようなラボできませんわ。
Can't be third and fourth wheeling.
さっきから全然話が噛み合ってない感じがするんだけど。
Yeah, just a bit.
遠くの少佐より近くの士官候補生。悪い選択ではありませんわ。敵と距離と年の差に阻まれてなお燃え上がる二人の心、素敵ですわ。
はいはい。またルナの病気が始まったってわけね。人のことすぐ勝手に恋愛小説っぽい妄想に
Hey,
し
don't
て
fucking
楽しむんだ
trash
か
cheap
ら。
romance novels.
許してくれイルフリーで覗き見するようで不本意だったのだが。
分かってる。どうせルナがいろいろ計画して強引に仕切ったんでしょ。
あら、恥ずかしがらなくてもいいのよ。私たちはあなた方を心から応援していますわ。
待て、私をそこに加えるな。
別に何を妄想するのもルナの勝手だけど、そんな目で見るのは清十郎に失礼でしょ。
How so?
あんな小さい子が立派な英士になるために地球の反対側からわざわざ見学しに来てくれたのよ。
Yes?
あんな小さい子？
そうよ。しかも日本に帰ったらすぐに実戦に出るなんて仕方のないこととはいえ、世界中で起きている悲しい現実だわ。だから清十郎には楽しい思いをいっぱいして帰ってほしかったの。だいたい私なんかが相手じゃ清十郎がかわいそうじゃない。あの子がいい年頃になったら私おばちゃんだよ。
Hey man, nothing wrong with going you know, like a finely aged wine.
そこまで？
清十郎、私がおばちゃんになっても日本のお城を案内してくれるかしら。それまでは絶対死ねないわよね。だから二人で約束したんだ。
イルフィ、もしかするとあなた 清十郎くんの年齢を知らないのではなくて。
I also don't know. How old is he?
清十郎の年？
Oh my god.
あの外見だし、どう見ても小学生ぐらいでしょ？
まあ、イルフィったら東洋人は実際の年齢よりかなり若く見えるのよ。いくらなんでも
Oh
小
god.
学生ぐらいですよ。
European fucking school grades. And I know Germany does it
ルナの
weird.
妄想が始まった。
I used to work with a German guy who fucking joined the Air Force, and he tried to explain it to me how their school system works, and I just fucking... eyes just glazed over and all turned into fucking TV static.
お前たち一体何を言っている？お前たちは司令部から配布された清十郎の資料に
They most definitely did
きちんと
not.
目を通していたのか？
ああ、今朝事務官が回収してったあの分厚いやつね。
Oh
ま
my
あ、ざっ
god.
とね。名前と写真はちゃんと見たわよ。
Well, I was gonna say that's bare minimum, but
私はあくまでサポートですので、そこまでの詳細は
つまり見ていないということだ
no,
な。
they're just stupid.
いいのよ、細かいことは。初対面で変な先入観があると逆にうまくいかない場合があるでしょ。それにほら、私日本のこといろいろ調べるので忙しかったし。
Poor deflection.
お前たちは
何？
Yes,
もしかして何かあった？私また何かいけなかった？
big time.
ちょっとなんで急に黙るの？何その目？その遠い目は何？
清十郎は美しい思い出を持って帰った。
Yep. Just think
それ
think
で
of the
いいではない
positives.
か。
ちょっとルナ、なんか言いなさいよ。
イルフィ、真実を知ることは必ずしも幸せとは限りませんわ。
Don't think about what could have been.
はあ？なんであんたが急にそっち側行ってんのよ。
花からルナの妄想など真に受けてないが、それにしても
何何歳
I don't
な
know.
の？
He's probably like 17.
清十郎くん、よりによってなぜイルフィなのでしょうね。
だからなんであんたはそんなことを上から。
まったく粗骨者が。
だから何歳なのよ。
We need to know for the wiki. These are important facts. But alas, we shall not. And with that, unless there's more. Nope, there we go. And with that, we are done for today. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all next time where we will start up Resurrection. And I have to go through all the videos I've uploaded since starting Adoration and change the descriptions to show the final number of parts and all that. So, once again, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and tell your friends. Make burner accounts. Bump those numbers. Leave the playlist on loop in the background so my watch time goes up. Anyway, yeah, see you guys later. Mwah.